Second song I've ever heard by Future is Dirty Sprite, like off the first Dirty Sprite mixtape. And that shit had me wanting to sip lean at like 11, 12 years old.
All right, so we gonna jump right into it. As y'all can see, Juice WRLD just said out his own mouth that he was inspired by Future for his drug adventures, right? And I'm not making no allegations towards Future, but clearly Juice WRLD is. It's in a friendly way, and because they're artists, it seems like, oh wow, that's so cool. But this goes to show you that music is more of a tool than just like a pastime situation where you're just having a good time. Music is more powerful than that. That's why Crazy Bone did that video about how them people, Alphabet Boys, got together with a lot of the music execs back in the early 90s and came up with a plan and how to change the direction of music.
Our job would be to help make this happen by making music which promote criminal behavior. Rap being the music of choice.
And you could see why that meeting was so important, because now we have nothing but young, functional addicts. Dave East, the rapper Dave East from Harlem, said that a couple weeks ago or a couple months ago that a lot of people in our generation don't even know that we are the new crackheads. Not us, but the rappers that's addicted to such and such pills or drinks or whatever the case is, that they make special drinks. We're not talking about regular alcohol, even though that's not good either, to be addicted to anything. You don't need nothing as a vice, right? So it's crazy that Juice WRLD ended up even passing away from the same thing that he looked up to Future for, right?
And turn to the sudden and shocking death of rap star Juice WRLD. The 21-year-old, who was named Billboard's Best New Artist this year, suffered a medical emergency at Chicago's Midway Airport.
Your music, they're listening to it over and over and over. It's programming. And they might try some of those things they hear you talk about. I had a conversation with Future one time in the studio. He was like, yeah, you know, people be thinking I do so many, like people be thinking I'm really doing a lot of drugs because I rap about it all the time. But they don't even be knowing I'm a lightweight. I said, in my head.
Y'all just saw that clip of Nicki Minaj exposing Future for making these songs about doing all these drugs, but then sit back in the cut and say, yo, I don't really use drugs like that. I just make these songs. And I thought Future was smart on just a smart, and he's just one of those guys that know how to have conversations and know what he's saying and be mindful of what he's saying. But clearly when he's saying this, he's not paying attention on how it's coming out to people that are awake, that can see that he's marketing this type of music. I don't know if the label is giving, we don't know if the label is giving him this direction for his music or whatever the case is, because Future is very much capable of making songs that doesn't include those topics. He had a lot of female songs that resonated very well and went #1. This right here makes it undeniable. Future just said out his own mouth that when he was making Dirty Sprite 1 or 2, whichever one it was, that some of those songs he wasn't even on any type of drug.
DS2, I did certain things on Dirty Sprite.
Right.
That I wasn't just high on, just going off lean.
Talk about it.
You might thought about it. You might think that because the way we market it and we brand it.
Right.
He just made it while being completely sober. Wow. So that's even more dangerous. He was not high he was not drunk, but he consciously made a decision to make a song on the Dirty Sprite album about drugs. So this is what I'm talking about when you thought you was smart by speaking on this topic, talking about Future, and he clearly just told us he was very conscious when he made certain songs on Dirty Sprite that was focused on being a drug addict. And that's fucked up. So you knew what you was doing, and then in the end of the interview, he even said, it might seem like I'm always on drugs because that's how we packaged it and that's how we marketed it. What more do I need to say about that? He said people think that he's always on lean or he always are because the way they package it and market it. So guess what? They're marketing it to you as if he's on drugs all the time, so you could be on drugs all the time. And this is why you gotta pay attention to people when they speak. Like Crazy Bone said, when I first saw that Crazy Bone podcast of that specific episode, when he was talking about how the feds came in with the higher ups of the music industry, that right there just had me so hooked and wanting to dig deeper into the rabbit hole, because statements like what Future made and just watching Crazy Bone reading through that those papers and statements of whatever that happened back in the day with those meetings is clear. It's a clear signal that music is not just music. We have even the younger artists admitting that, yo, this industry is demonic. These people, some of them are willingly being used as tools, and some of them are unwilling. They don't know what's going on yet until the money is starting to run out. They need to re-sign again for another album or whatever to get some more money, and slowly you start to realize that they're on like one of those hamster wheels, just like the rest of us that's sitting out here trying to figure it out with the 9 to 5, paying these bills every month. They do the same shit, but just with a little more access. But yeah, man, the way Future said that he was sober making Dirty Sprite, that's deeper than what I thought it was, because you deliberately went and made the decision to influence your audience to do some things that's not really good for them while you were conscious, not while you was high or drunk. So now you have to take full accountability of what you're doing and the message that you're putting out. But you know that y'all marketing it and packaging it for a specific reason, so you're not gonna take accountability. That's deep. I'm looking at this totally different now. You weren't drunk or high while making Dirty Sprite to push out to the masses. I'm out.